Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you something really cool. I'll deploy an AI avatar which will provide a human-like experience doing speech-to-speech conversation. So now using the Microsoft TTS service, which is text-to-speech cognitive service, you can create an avatar which will do the lip sync as well as the gesture controls. To make it voice-to-voice conversation, I'll be using Azure speech-to-text for converting my voice to text and then text to speech so that avatar can respond in the speech while doing the lip sync and the gestures. And for the actual brain, which is LLM, I'll be using the Azure OpenAI GPT. And now I want this avatar to provide me information specific to me. So to make it more personalized, I'll use the RAG search. And for that, I'll use the Azure AI search option, where I'll upload the document to do the chunking and vectorization. And when I'll ask a question to Avatar, it should provide the information not from its LLM knowledge, but from OpenAI search, so that you get a very personalized AI avatar experience. Now there are endless opportunities where you can use the AI avatar. When you do the voice to voice conversation, usually it doesn't feel much because you're talking to a computer system or talking to your phone. Now when you will be talking to avatar, you will feel like human like experience. So now you can create the educational tutors or the kids application where kids can talk to avatar and they will be more engaged to it. For this video, I'll be using Azure Cognitive Service, which is TTS and STS, along with Azure AI Search and Azure OpenAI GPT. But you can also integrate it with Azure OpenAI Real-Time API, where you do the voice to voice conversation with the emotional support, because when you convert from text to speech and speech to text, the emotions are not captured very properly. But when you use the real-time API, it captures the emotions. So you can integrate it with real-time API where you will have more emotional connect with the avatar. So let me show you step-by-step deployment of the creation of AI avatar in Azure. I'm logged into Azure portal now, and let's start with the creation of the speech services. So we are in Azure AI services, speech service, create a speech service. I'll create a new resource group, RG avatar. Azure text-to-speech avatar is available only in the few regions. So if we'll go to the documentation, it's available in Southeast Asia, North Europe, East US2, West US2. So I'll be using East US2. So let's select East US2 and let's name it as speech 001. It's already in use. So avatar speech 001. That's good. Now I'll use the standard 0 as 0. Next, I can access this through the internet because this is just a POC or a lab, and I'm not enabling the system assigned managed identity. No tags, and review and create and create. So validation is successful. Now it's creating the speech service. Now time being, let's deploy Azure AI Foundry Hub. Azure AI Foundry. Let's deploy a hub. I'll use the same resource group and let's use East US2 so that all the services are in the same region. Now avatar hub 01, and this will create an Azure OpenAI service too, which will be integrated with our project as well as the management hub. And it will create a storage account and save the credentials in the key vault. And for the networking, open to public, it's all good. And all default, and review and create and create. If you want to understand Azure AI Foundry, I have already created a video on this in detail. You can check the link of that video in the description of this video. So the deployment of Azure AI Hub has started, and I'll pause the video and we'll be back once it's done. Azure AI Hub is deployed now. Let's go to resource. and from AI Hub, launch Azure AI Foundry. And when you log into Azure AI Hub, the first thing you do is create a project. So I'll create a new project. I'll use the default name and let's create it. And as soon as the project is created, it will be integrated with Azure OpenAI, where we'll deploy Azure OpenAI GPT model, as well as we'll integrate with Azure AI Search service. So till this project is being created, let's create Azure AI Search service. Let's look for AI Search. Click here. It'll go to Azure AI Services, where it'll open AI Search and create. I'll deploy in the same resource group, RG Avatar, and let's name it as Avatar Search 001. And I'll choose the location East US2 because all the other services I'm deploying in the same region. For the pricing tier, I don't want standard. The basic should suffice because it's 5 GB of data and 15 indexes, though I'm going to use only one index. So let's select it. I'm not going to scale. The basic public networking is fine because I'm going to delete this resource before uploading the video. And create. Now till this search service is getting created, let's go to the project in Azure AI Hub. And perfect, the project is created and you can see it's connected to OpenAI service too. So in the project, let's do first thing is deploy the GPT model. So deploy the base model. So I'll use the GPT-4o, confirm. East US2 looks good. And we can customize or we can increase the tokens and let's deploy. Now the GPT-4o model is deployed. And next thing we are going to do is integrate the Azure AI Search service, which we have just created with the Azure AI Hub. And the reason is because during the vectorization of the data, we need a storage account where we'll upload our PDF file. From there, the chunking and the vectorization will happen. So either create a separate storage account and then integrate it with Azure AI Search service, or you can integrate the service here itself and use the storage account of Azure AI Hub. Because when you deploy Azure AI Hub, a storage account is created, which stores the data which is used in Azure AI Hub. So let's check. Perfect. Azure AI Search service is created. Let's go to the management center in Azure AI Hub and then connected resources and create a new connection. And go to Azure AI Search. And this is the one. Add a connection. And perfect. Now close it. Go back to your project and go to data and indexes. Now in the indexes, click on new index. It will ask you for your data source. So you can connect your Azure AI Search service directly if you have done the vectorization there. Data in the Azure AI Foundry, if it's already you have uploaded the data in the data files here. But I'll upload the files here. So let's upload the file. There is one PDF file, which is the kids solar system file. I'll quickly open that and show you. So our solar system, it's from grade 2 to 5 and it provides the information regarding our solar system. So let's close this and it's uploaded. Next. Now we have to choose our Azure AI Search service and the name of the vector index. Let it be default, but you can provide your own name too. Next. Add a vector search to this search service. Yes. And it's using an Azure OpenAI service connection. And this is integrated to Azure AI Hub. So automatically a text embedding model will be deployed. So next. It's deploying the text embedding model, and perfect, and create a vector index. So now all the chunking of the data, then vectorization, everything will be done. And our index will be ready with all the chunk data. So we can search it using the Azure AI Search service, and then using the API, we will integrate it with our application. For the job details, you can click here and it will go to machinelearning.azure.com and it will show all the steps it's performing. So it has created a pipeline where it's cracking, chunking and embedding the data. Then it update the ACS index, then register the vector index. So this will take a little bit of time. So I'll pause the video and we'll be back once this is done. It took a couple of minutes and as you can see, it's completed now. Chunking, updating ACS index and registering of vector index is done. So let's close this, go back here, refresh, and it's completed. Now let's go back to our AI search service and go to the indexes. This is the index which is created. And perfect. Let's look for solar system. And it is providing information. That's good. So now we have OpenAI GPT model deployed, Azure Speech Service deployed for TTS and STS, which is text to speech and speech to text, as well as we have RAG AI search ready. Now I'll quickly open the VS Code and show you the code which is ready to be deployed. So there is chat.html file. You can find all these details in Azure samples. However, I have customized this file so that speech to speech conversation can happen. So I have made some changes. I'll show you while running this file. There is a JavaScript file also, and along with that there is a style.css. I have uploaded all these files into the GitHub, and you can find the link of the GitHub in the description of this video. So all the integration is happening through chat.html as well as JavaScript file. So now let me open the terminal. And perfect. And let's run Python server, HTTP server. So I'm running an HTTP server locally so that I can open a web page in the browser which will show all these files. But basically what I have to run is chat.html. So it's running on 8000 port, localhost column 8000, and perfect. You can see all the files. However, the most important file here is chat.html. As soon as you click on the file, you have to fill certain details. So these are the different regions where the speech service is available. However, we have used East US2. So let me get this detail. API key of speech service. So let's go to speech service. Go to click and manage keys and copy the API key. And it's here. Now the endpoint for Azure OpenAI resource. Let's go to models and deployments, and GPT-4o is the model. So let's copy the endpoint. However, we don't need the full endpoint. So till OpenAI, this is the endpoint we need, and the API key, we can copy it from here, and the deployment name, which is GPT-4o. You can see this is the name of the deployment. And you need to check this box, which is enable on your data. Otherwise, it will use its own knowledge. So now you have to provide the endpoint, API key, and index name for AI search service. So let's go to AI search service. And you can find the endpoint here. API key. If we'll go on the keys, copy this primary admin key and the index name. Finally, go to the index, and this is the name of the index. And it's almost ready, but we need to provide the system prompt. So I'll quickly copy the system prompt and provide it here. So we are just making sure that it just provide information from the search results, but it provides a concise response. We don't want a bigger response, and we don't want emojis or special characters, because it's text to speech, and then there is some problem while reading it. It will start reading those special characters also. And if the query is unrelated, it should inform the users that it's out of its knowledge, and all that information you have to provide it here. Now there are different languages which it supports, so you can get this information from the documentation. So let's click on continuous conversation so that we can keep on speaking without stopping the mic. And avatar character is Meg, and formal is the avatar style. There are multiple options. You can go through the documentation and then provide it here. In my code, I haven't provided as a drop down option, but you can always add all the different options and provide it as a drop down. So now open the avatar session, and it should show the avatar soon. And perfect, you can see the avatar is here. So now there are two options. You can start the microphone from here and start speaking. So I'll start that. Hello, can you provide me how many planets are there in solar system?
Hello. There are 8 planets in the solar system. These include Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Let me know if you'd like more details about any of them.
Which one is the largest planet in the solar system?
The largest planet in the solar system is Jupiter. It is known for its great red spot, a massive storm that has lasted for centuries. Let me know if you'd like more details about Jupiter.
Which is the fastest car available in the world?
The requested information is not found in the retrieved data. Please try another query or topic.
And there is another option. If you don't want to ask anything, you can type it here. So to summarize this video, now our AI avatar is using speech to text, where as a user we are first speaking into the mic, which is converted to text, and that text using the GPT is providing the information back. And later, using the text to speech conversion, it's converted to speech, and then the output is provided by avatar. So it uses little bit of gestures as well as the lip sync. However, you can add more gestures. There is synthesis option where you can add more gestures based on what line it's speaking. And it's also using the RAG AI search, using which it's provide information based on the personal data. So that's all I wanted to show in this video. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.